Hey, how you doing there? Henry Olsen here from Super Simple Guitar, and today, after 3 weeks of waiting, I finally got this box. So what this is a pickup kit from this really cool company called 920D Custom. And what they do is they configure excellent pickups and pickup combinations, and they pre-wire everything and ship it straight to your doorstep. So rather than me having to buy individual pickups and pots and switches and everything, they have this huge selection of pre-configured pickup plates, right, with all electronics in it in super high quality, and you can just choose one and they will send it to you. And then you just unscrew these screws here and just plop this in, okay? So that's what I'm going to be trying to attempt to do in this video. Then we're going to check it out. So quickly, just to tell you this really cool configuration that I got, at least I think it's really cool, is what I have here is a humbucker, I have a single coil, and then I have another humbucker, okay? Then here it's all normal, 5-way switch. But here's where it really gets interesting. So I have these two switches here. Let me see if I can focus on the switches. I have these two switches here, and what they allow me to do is one of them will activate the neck pickup no matter where I am. So that means I can go down here and activate the bridge, and I can have the neck pickup on at the same time. Or I can go to this middle position where these guys are both on, and now I have all three pickups on. Okay, so a Strat normally can't do that, right? So now I have all pickups on, or I can have just these two on. I can go one step further though, too. I can actually split these humbuckers, giving me a single coil sound. Okay, so that means within my Strat, this is going to be the ultimate Strat, I'm hoping. I have humbuckers, I have single coil pickups, and I can activate all kinds of different combinations, right? So I'm really excited about this. Let me just show you how it looks before we install it. So you can see they really put in high quality material in here. And these are Seymour Duncan pickups, in case you want to know. This is a little 59. I'm not sure what this is. And this is a Jeff Beck Jr. down here, okay? And again, 5-way switching, but I have these extra features, right? And this configuration is called, I think, Everything Axe, Strat Everything Axe. Seymour Duncan also sells it as an Everything Axe pack. But if you buy it from Duncan, you don't get these extra switches, which allows you, again, to activate this pickup at any time, so it's always on, or to split both of the humbuckers. So you have single coil and humbuckers on a Strat, right? Okay, so just so you know kind of the backstory, what this is, where I got it from. Now what I'm going to do is try to install it, and then later I'm going to go to the studio and we're going to check out some of the sounds. All right, let's put it in.
Hi.
Come say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Say, how you doing?
How we doing?
How you doing? Can you say, welcome to Super Simple Guitar? You can't say that? Okay. Alright, so I actually have already gutted my Strat. So this is the old Pickguard that still is good. I might still use this for a different guitar or for whatever. And I actually had to take off the neck, which I've never done before. I had to take off the neck to get it out. Normally I don't have to ever do that, but it was kind of stuck in. I couldn't get it out without taking off the neck. A couple of things here, a couple of tricky things that I'm running into so far is that this one has a couple of extra cables. This one was soldered onto the back of the guitar, and then it had another piece, this piece here, I don't know if you can see that, this piece here was screwed onto the front in here, I guess grounding it, but the new Pickguard doesn't have any of that. The new Pickguard just has this little jack, and it came with this. And the problem that I'm encountering now, and kind of, I don't really understand why they did this, is that I'm not going to be able to get in this hole here. I don't know if you can see the hole. You probably can't see the hole. Oh yeah, you can see the hole. I'm not going to be able to get into this hole here without cutting this. So I'm actually going to have to cut these cables that they've already soldered in so nicely to be able to insert that in. Okay, so I don't know why they did that. It should have probably not been soldered, so I don't have to cut it and then resolder it. But I guess I'm going to have to cut this and then at the studio solder it because I don't have my solderer here. And then that's how I'm going to install it, okay? All right, so I'll see you at the studio. All right, so as you can see, I have completed the project. I have mounted everything. And just to tell you really quickly, what I had to do is I had to chop those cables to run the cables through. I had to resolder it back onto the jack, right? Then tighten the screws. And I also had to use those cables from my original pickup guard to ground, right? So I had to reattach those and solder 2 of those grounding cables onto the middle pot, okay? So in case you're thinking about doing this, just know that you need those grounding cables and you just leave them where they are, you cut them, and then you solder them both onto either the middle pot or the bottom pot, okay? And that's it. So all I had to do was solder that in, tighten the screws, put the guitar neck back on. Thank God everything worked out, and now we are done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the microphone that's now here, and I'm going to move it over to the amp, okay? So you can hear the guitar more clearly, but then when I talk, just know that you're not going to hear my voice as well as you do now because I'm focusing the sound on the amp, okay? We are running through my Seriatone Overtone Special, which is a Dumble clone amp. And I'm just going to show you kind of the basic configurations, and I'm going to tell you my general thoughts. Without making you wait till the end to know my general thoughts, if you don't want to watch the whole video, just my kind of conclusion, if you just want to end now, is that this is really great. This is great, okay? So I basically did this because I wanted to have a Strat, I wanted to have a Tele, and I wanted to have a Les Paul in one guitar. I want to have one guitar that I can take anywhere with me and just be totally versatile and get all kinds of sounds, okay? And this totally does the job. One thing that I want to say is that when you do split the humbuckers, you will lose some of your volume, and it's not quite as kind of snappy as a real single coil pickup, but it's about 85–90% there, okay? So having all of that built into one guitar, if you're on a gig or if you want to record, it's just very, very powerful, okay? So in my opinion, this is totally mission accomplished. I have really juicy humbuckers in here. I can split them into single coils, and because of this other switch here that allows me to turn on the neck pickup at any time, I'm really able to get tons of very, very usable tones, okay? So I'm very, very, very happy with this kit that I've got now, and I highly recommend it, okay? Would I still like to have a Strat that has single coils in it? Yes, okay, and that's why I'm not going to change my red Strat. That one is always going to keep single coils in the neck in the middle, and I'm always going to have a humbucker in the bridge, okay? But to have all of that in one guitar, even though the single coils aren't quite 100% when you split them and you lose quite a bit of volume, it's still a very, very good investment, and I highly recommend it, okay? All right, let's check out some of the sounds now. See you there. All right, so we're starting off on single coil mode, and I'm on the neck pickup here, okay? So the neck pickup is activated. Everything is on 10, all right? So just simple strumming. It's a nice chord there. Okay, so that's neck pickup. Now we can get a really nice kind of middle position. Right, that typical Strat sound. Really nice with the fingers. Okay, so middle pickup. Okay, just a normal middle position there. Now, another really classic Strat sounding tone using the bridge and the middle pickup, right? So, and you can hear it's getting a little bit louder now because the bridge is a little bit louder than the neck. Right, that typical Strat sound. And last but not least, bridge all the way down, just this guy. You can hear we're getting loud now. If you compare this guy to this guy, a lot quieter here. I might have to raise the volume on this one. And in case you don't know how to do that, you just tighten these screws and then that makes the pickup go up. If you loosen the screws, it makes them go down. Okay, so the bridge is quite a bit louder than the neck. So that might be something that I need to balance out. Maybe they could have done a better job at that. But okay. Pretty bright and really very powerful. Okay, so just to explain to you now, the way I think of it is if the switches are down, they're off. If the switches are up, they're on, okay? So this one here is for humbuckers. So now it's in single coil mode, so kind of off. We're halfway, right? So this is for the humbuckers, and this here one will turn on the neck pickup at all times, okay? So just so you know, this is for the humbuckers and this is for switching this guy on anytime, which is really cool because now I can have, for instance, this pickup on and this pickup on at the same time, okay? Now both of them are activated still in single coil mode, okay? But for now, I'm just going to continue showing you this. So we went through the tones in single coil mode, right? And now I want to show you where the beef comes in, right? Where the cows start to come home. So single coil, in my opinion, sounds really great. But where these pickups really shine, in my opinion, is when you go into humbucking mode. So here we go, humbucker. Hear the sound difference there? Let's just do an E chord. Really a nice humbucking sound, if you ask me. Okay, so this is the main reason why I got this, because I wanted a humbucking Strat that can also go single coil. So if you're looking for a humbucking sound on a Strat and a single coil, I think you really cannot go wrong with this configuration here, okay? So it's really great. The only thing that I have to point out now is that if I'm in humbucking mode and I go down to single coil mode, so now I just switched it down back to single coil, there's quite a bit of a volume loss. You hear that? So that's the only thing that might be a little bit problematic. So if you're playing in single coil mode at a nice volume with other people, let's say, then you want to introduce that beef, all of of a sudden you're going to have this big volume kick, right? That you're going to have to kind of balance out either using pedals or by using the knob, right? So you could also use the knob to kind of get by this. So what I mean by that is you could have it in single coil, in humbucker mode, a little bit lower. And then when you go into single coil mode, you could raise that up. You could raise that up. And then when you go back, you'd have to quickly go back down. So you could use the volume knob to do that. But I find that the humbucker sparkles the most if it's all the way on, okay? So you're gonna have to use a pedal, or just kind of, if you're at home, it doesn't really matter, but if you're in a stage situation, you're probably gonna have to use pedals to kind of boost your tone a little bit. If you're in humbucker mode, and then you go into single coil mode to get that volume back up to where it was. But still, very, very good. I've had a lot of other guitars that I played had a much higher drop off, so you'd lose much more volume than you lose with this one. So with this one, I'm still very, very happy. Okay, so back to humbucker mode. Now we're gonna split it. We're going between these two. Also a very nice sound. Middle pickup is not a humbucker, so we're going to skip that one. Now we're using these two. Again, humbucking mode still. That one kind of reminds me of a telly a little bit. Like that one a lot. Now, bridge pickup, a lot of bite here. You'd probably have to turn down the volume a little bit unless you balance these guys out. Because it's much louder. Okay, so that was humbucker. Going through all the positions. Now, what I want to show you is where it's really cool, and that's where if I activate this guy here, now I have the neck pickup on as well. Okay, so now I have bridge, right, and neck. And that gives you a really unique sound. This one is the one that reminds me the most of a telly. Kind of that middle telly position. So really kind of a telly sound, I think. Let's split that now. Again, you see that I lost a lot of volume there. Also a really nice sound. So now again, I'm in single coil mode with both of these guys activated. And now the coolest thing to me, other than having a humbucker that I can split, is if I go here and activate these two with this switch, I now have all three on. And this is a sound that I really like. That's one that David Gilmour has in his Strat as well. So really cool. Again, that's now in single coil mode. We can humbuck that. Let's go back to single coil. Back to humbucker. The humbucker just makes things sound a little bit beefier. And that's about that. So, you know, just now you've kind of heard the basic sounds that you can get out of it. And in my opinion, it really is totally worth it. You can really turn your Strat into a Les Paul. You can get some really great telly sounds. You can get typical Strat sounds all in one guitar. So it really is a great way to make your guitar super versatile. As far as the humbuckers, when you split them and go into single coil mode, I still think that the Strat, if you just use a standard Strat with single coils, those single coils that aren't split, that are just built as single coils, still sound better and have a little bit more bite and punch to them. It's not exactly the same as when you split this humbucker and go into single coil mode, but it's about 85 to 90% there, in my opinion. Okay, so as far as having one guitar that has as much as you can possibly have in one guitar built in, I think you really cannot do more than what has been packed in here now. Okay, so in my opinion, I highly recommend this. If you're thinking about getting it, the guys at 9020D, who I'm not at all affiliated with, I think they did a really great job, and I highly recommend checking it out. All right, I hope that this has been somehow useful for you and inspiring. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Take it easy. Henry Olson here. Bye-bye.